I was born into a Buddhist family, supposedly Buddhist family, but my parents knew very little about Buddhism, and my mother used to bring me to these Taoist temples, Chinese temples quite often, especially when she had problems. And I went to a Catholic school for 12 years, from Standard 1 right up to Form 6. And I was very much influenced by these Catholic brothers, Christian brothers, because they came over from Ireland, from Canada, from France at a young age, in the early 20s. And they were very dedicated, and they were extremely nice people. And they lived here until they died. And in our school we had these graves of these old Christian brothers. So I was extremely affected by them, and so I was very much taken up by the Catholic religion. So much so that I used to go to the chapel every day as one of the goody boys. And I suppose they probably noticed who were these kids that would come to the chapel every day. Probably they were peeping behind the curtain. And they organized special classes for us, a few of us, and tried to get us to convert to the Catholic religion. So when I was in Form 5, I had this view that I would definitely baptize as a Catholic one day, in spite of what my parents say. And that was in Form 5 when I was about 17 years old. But when I was in Form 6, when I was about 18, this computer started to work. And I had a lot of questions, a lot of doubts, like if God is merciful, why did He create hell? God is almighty, He can create heaven for all beings. We don't have to go to the ghost realm, to the hell realm. And when we brought these questions to these Catholic brothers, they just couldn't answer, give us a satisfactory answer. Another question was like, if God is omniscient, He knows the past, He knows the present, He knows the future. So when He makes a being, He knows that in future this being is going to go to heaven or go to hell. And if He knows that being is going to go to hell, then He should put on hold, not continue to create that being. So these questions disturbed me. So one day I had to go to the chapel and tell God, very sorry, but I have so much doubts, I can't continue to come to the chapel every day. So I decided I was going to separate myself from this Catholic religion for a while. And so I left religion for a few years.